Okay, I do believe we are live. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Overwatch Oasis League. We are back for week 3 with some tier 2 action. We've got Pizza Planet Deep Dish versus Eternally Feeding. Pizza Planet Deep Dish coming off a win after their week 1 bye week against Spellbound Tengus. Eternally Feeding, on the other hand, they're coming off a loss to Blix Renegades, but they did also beat that Spellbound Tengus team in week 1. I am Mr. Game & Kirby, and I am joined by a new member of Stream Team, Throne.
How's it going, guys? This is Throne. Nice to meet y'all.
And as always, silent casting tonight, or not always, but as frequently as she does, Red Hood Kitty will be the caster for tonight's game. Always does a great job, and I am very excited for this matchup because on the one hand, you got one team that's trying to maintain some momentum and maybe put themselves towards the top of, you know, where they are perceived in tier 2, whereas the other team, Eternally Feeding, are trying to bounce back from a tough loss last week.
So it looks like they're going in with a sim strat, which it looks like it's working out.
Yeah, but it's more the Junkrat that's really working.
Yeah, Junkrat is the one that's, he's coming in.
Control
Pushing
point hasn't
back.
even unlocked yet, and Pizza Planet Deep Dish are already backing up so far. Yeah, that was definitely won by Luxy there, taking out their counterpart in Zombie Dylan. So that will be the first capture of the round here towards Eternally Feeding. So now here we go. Pizza Planet Deep Dish gonna go through the server room. It looks like, nope, it looks like they're gonna rotate back towards main, but it's a good fake out so far. Eternally Feeding does recognize this and rotates themselves back to point. They have the sim turrets on point. They're gonna have to be careful. Extra Sass gets the bubble.
I wonder who's gonna get this Junkrat. Oh, he's pulling the tire right now.
Yeah, wow, and look at the difference. But Zombie Dylan is able to take out that tire, but the sim just bought them too much space, and Pizza Planet Deep Dish once again on the back foot as Eternally Feeding are going to win another team fight here.
So looking at the old charges coming in, it looks like they're just going to have the Moira Coalescence. Oh, they're going to be making some switches. They're going to switch off the Mei to McCree. Let's see, hopefully that does something more.
No. And Dylan falling to the Zarya alt clicks there. Just some random spam trying to find something. Unfortunate for Zombie Dylan, but he will be right back. And yeah, you said it, you know, this Coalescence is probably what Pizza Planet are going to aggress with, but so many ultimates on the side of Eternally Feeding.
Yeah, let's grab. Yep, there it is.
Yep, and Matt already finds a pick. Luxy gets another one. Both the main tank and the Junkrat are down. Ridge Hunt is able to find one, but it looks like that is going to be it. And look at this, we're already past 85%, and barely any of Pizza Planet have even built up their ultimates.
Yeah, that was a great fight. Only used one ult and got the job done.
So yeah, here we go. 95 and counting. Someone's going to need to touch. Will it be perhaps Rue or will it be Thickments? He is able to touch, but the ultimates,
nice flank out.
Ultimates are coming off from both sides. There's Strawberry using the Coalescence, but Luxy with 2 kills in this team fight. This is looking all too good for Eternally Feeding. It's a good grab from Ridge Hunt, but there are just not enough members of Pizza Planet Deep Dish to follow up on it. Strawberry was able to find one. Luxy building up another tire. And it's going to take out both of the supports. Zombie Dylan, the only one on point. He will go down right away. And wow, what a great showing here from Eternally Feeding. 100-0 here on Control Center.
Yeah, very surprising. But I thought Pizza Planet would show a little more fight in there, but it looks like they couldn't get anything done. You know, they were countered every single way.
Yeah, obviously it's tough, you know, to aggress on, you know, when playing against the sim, and right now in Spawn they're kind of maybe hovering the sim themselves, thinking about possibly trying one on this map. And interestingly enough, on a map that is more sim focused. Okay, there we go. Luxy is now going to be the one to play the sim here instead of the Junkrat.
Oh, they're really gonna go with the Pharah. So it's gonna Pharah's gonna be interesting with this map. I believe this is like the only map for Lijiang's Tower that can be really good for Pharah. So we'll see what they can do.
Oh man,
So,
and Aussie Matt already finding
yep.
2 picks, and man, like, there is just barely any foothold that Pizza Planet can take in any of these team fights. I mean, they are just going down instantly.
Okay, they're gonna make a switch to the McCree.
Are you in a skirmish sheet?
Yes, please leave.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on a new team now. Good job, man. Good luck.
Well, apologies for that interruption, folks, as we do see both Chubb and Nate finding the picks here. I think that's just gonna reset
it's gonna be a soft
here.
reset here.
And I mean, this is just, I mean, this hasn't even been close so far. This has been a brutal start for Pizza Planet, who are maybe hoping to cement themselves as one of the stronger teams. So here we go, both teams about to meet on the bridge. Pizza Planet gonna have to watch out for Chubb, trying to get in positions to find the
Ooh, good Maywall, good block.
Yep, there's the
shatter,
block
but
from Sass on the shatter. Sass able to find one, but just look at all the damage they're doing. Like, it is just instant. Like, 3 picks in a row. These beam characters are just melting the members of Pizza Planet Deep Dish.
Yeah, but they're gonna be coming up with some ults here, so maybe they'll hopefully be able to use it to turn this around.
I will not waste this opportunity.
Yeah, we'll see if Zombie Dylan can get into position. Theoretically, he shouldn't be getting countered here. They don't really have a primary hit scan, but these fights are just going so fast that it's impossible for the Pharah to find the value. Yo, Dylan going in, able to find 1 right off the bat. That's a huge start and exactly what Pizza Planet need here. Ridge Hunt able to find his counterpart in Austin Matt, so they have the 6v4 on point here. No res available for Eternally Feeding. Ridge Hunt actually falls off the edge, unfortunate there, but Sass with the cleanup here. Amplification Matrix for good measure from Ruru. There we go.
That was a
finally
great fight because they took out the right target, Chubb, who had their sound barrier, who could have actually stopped like that whole entire push. But great target and taking out him first, and they got that.
And even pretty solid discipline too. They only use 2 of their ultimates. I mean, we're also going to see a lot of ultimates on the side of Eternally Feeding here. And yep, here come a lot of them. Loki throwing in the Blizzard. That's a huge ultimate, but good kite job here on the side of Pizza Planet Deep Dish. But will they be able to survive the grab? Yes, they absolutely will. They're still alive here. Rich Hunt does go down. The follow-up on his grab is not quite there. Simwall coming out here from Luxie. It might be just too much for Pizza Planet to overcome. Only Strawberry here, and that will be it. A pretty convincing map 1 victory for Eternally Feeding.
Yeah, very demanding map.
And it's tough to, you know, wonder if this is just Eternally Feeding, you know, vastly improving from their first 2 weeks, or if maybe this is just kind of a poor matchup here for Pizza Planet Deep Dish. I mean, even just looking, they have common opponents. Pizza Planet Deep Dish beat Spellbound Tengus more convincingly than Eternally Feeding did. So, like, before the match, you would think that Pizza Planet would have the upper hand, and obviously that doesn't mean that they would for sure win every map, but the fact that it was so one-sided in favor of Eternally Feeding is certainly definitely interesting here. We'll have to see the adaptations they make for these next couple maps.
They were only able to take 1, you know, battle, and you know, you just got to give it to Eternally Feed there, because that was an amazing thing what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they played it right.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Austin out there and both of the DPS players who played Sim there. and that will be a map ban for Chubb, as he was, unless we are going to. Okay, I don't know if this is allowed. They're just letting us know what happened to legit. I have no idea, but yeah, for Eternally Feeding, they really did do an excellent job at playing together, playing as a unit with those two beams. I mean, they were just melting Pizza Planet Deep Dish. It was like the team fight would start, and like it wasn't like one pick, then a couple seconds, then a second pick, a couple seconds later, like a lot of team fights are. No, it was like they would get 3 picks instantaneously, but next to each other. Like it was just crazy. They are really a well-oiled machine right now on those double beam characters. We'll see if that still works on some of these non-control maps.
Yeah, Icon going to be an interesting map. Seeing what they were pulling out, I want to see what else they can do other than with the Symmetra. I mean, first point, Eichenwald, Symmetra could be useful, but I don't know if they're going to go with that one. Looks like we're just waiting on Chubb. Oh, no, Chubb's there.
Waiting for legits, but
Oh, legit.
yeah, I was gonna mention again, you know, we talked about it on Gardens there. They didn't have a hit scan. They didn't show a single hit scan that entire map. And on Eichenwald, there's a lot of really long sight lines that you can use on both point A and point B to use hit scans. So, you know, Pizza Planet Deep Dish going to start on the defense here. Could you possibly see a bounce back if they're able to play some long-range hit scan, win some poke wars, and Eternally Feeding doesn't quite have the hit scan themselves to be able to counter that?
Yeah, because it looked like in the battles, it was very up-close battles. Maybe if they bring out some range heroes, they could start winning, you know, more convincingly for Pizza Planet. But we'll just have to see when it comes. But I definitely should see like a Soldier, especially just to get to high ground. Soldier, Ash, you know, any of those long-range heroes can definitely work in Eichenwald.
Okay, so I don't think we're gonna see any, I don't think we're gonna see anything come of the match chat stuff. I think we're going to allow that. I'm not 100% sure. As we look here, we do see Pizza Planet Deep Dish's next lineup. We're actually going to see a lineup of Outer Heaven and Zombie Dylan, both players who also play DPS for the same team in Tier 3. That would be Sandbagging Smurfs.
Oh, wow. Okay. I see they also did a sub. Thick Mints is coming in for extra sass, and Ruru's coming in for Strawberry. So it looked like they're going to be playing healers.
Ruru was on the last map, and
Oh, he was.
we are. She was, and Lazy Turtle is going to be coming in as well. Longtime tank player for this Deep Dish team, hopefully to help. It was interesting. We didn't bring this up, but Sass usually plays DPS, and he was on Reinhardt, their main tank, which that is a really huge. Oh no, whoops, Throne must have DC'd, but to continue my point, because I can keep talking, Sass usually plays the DPS, and DPS is way different from that main tank position, so hope maybe getting someone here that is more experienced on that main tank will help Pizza Planet Deep Dish bounce back in the series. as for Eternally Feeding, we are going to see OwO Foxy come in to play some DPS. I think this is... I think that's... I believe... that is the only change. Yep. Looks like the only change, so OwO Foxy will get their first map of the night. Okay, they are back.
Sorry about that. I got disconnected.
It's okay. It happens. It has happened to me several times at this point. So, but we're ready to head into this next map. Didn't see too many subs from Eternally Feeding. Only OwO Foxy gonna come in for Luxie.
What do you expect for them to pull out? What do you think they're gonna run here?
Well, it'll be interesting because, like, again, we talked about it. Like, does this Eternally Feeding team have a hit scan look right now, or are they gonna try and run more rush style brawl comps? We are gonna. Okay, so OwO Foxy gonna come in showing the Widowmaker right now. Don't know if that's gonna be the case, but as of right now,
it might be for one shot, and then you're probably gonna switch.
Possibly. I definitely expect them to keep playing, you know, like rush compositions like we see right now. Now switching to the Reaper, we'll see. Pete's playing a deep dish, looking like some double shield coming out here.
Yeah. Fire Mercy, and looking at the Eternally Feeding, looks like I don't see any hit scan, so we'll see how they're gonna react when they see the Pharah.
Well, it looks like they're running pretty much almost exactly what they ran here on Control Center, so they love these sim rush comps, and they're going to go ahead and teleport up to the bridge. Interesting spot to teleport, but they've already got some positional advantage. Pete's Planet Deep Dish already backing up. Sim turrets already on point. This is looking pretty solid here for Eternally Feeding as they decide to go around the pillar the other way. Now going to be on the defender's right-hand side of the point. They're trying to overwhelm Lazy Turtle here. Ossimac gets the bubble. Zombie Dylan finds that first pick onto Chubb, which is huge. Lazy Turtle finds the pin onto Nate. He does go down himself. There's one tick gain for Eternally Feeding. The team fight is still up for grabs, and both of the Beam characters are still here. They are just melting everyone in sight. Both Ossimat and Loki the Legit. Thickmat is still here. Their Thickman's still here, and Zombie Dylan goes down to Ossimat, who needs a hit scan, and I think that might be it. Lazy Turtle is here, but that is just going to be so much beam
no
charge.
Healing, and here comes Nate. Yep. Eternally Feeding got this.
Yep, and they
Very long fight.
They capture point A there. Once again on their first try again. East Planet Deep Dish is really struggling right now. They are going to get the nice stagger kill on the over-aggressive Chubb, but still they're going to have to give up a lot of position here.
So it looked like they did make a switch. They switched to McCree now. Loki's on McCree now.
Okay. So they are going to attempt to make Zombie Dylan's life a little bit harder. He was one of the players that did survive the longest in that team fight, so definitely don't want him to be a nuisance. We're going to see Eternally Feeding leave the cart because they want to make the full rotation up onto the top of Castle, and they're going to throw in the Blizzard right now. They're trying to catch him off guard. Multiple members frozen, including Outer Heaven, who falls. Multiple people down for Pete's Planet Deep Dish, and Ruru, oh no, caught between a rock and a hard place. No one going to be able to save them. And Eternally Feeding, once again, a great team fight, great rotation, and a great Blizzard usage from OwO Foxy, and that's pretty much all they use.
Ooh. Zombie dealing with the switch to Hanzo to get the quick pick on the Mei. That could be their first step to getting back into this.
They definitely have some ultimates. Both of the teams, Babs, have the Amplification Matrix, but it's going to be Ridge Hunt that's going to initiate with the Gravitic Flux, Graviton Surge coming out on the side of Austy Matt. And there's the nice shatter. It's monstrous. All of the picks going in favor of Eternally Feeding. That was beautiful from Nate, and that will be point B. Eternally Feeding continue to roll here.
Foxy switching to his own Hanzo. Looks like Rue's making the switch to Lucio.
Yep, they're also gonna go for kind of a rush style composition. Outer Heaven and Thick Mints combining the Amplification Matrix and the Deadeye. Eternally Feeding is gonna play the sight lines though, and both of those ultimates will be for essentially zero value except for some positioning. Loki the Legit still has his High Noon available. Lazy Turtle in position, and here's the Deadeye coming out from Loki Legit. It doesn't find too much, but Lazy's Shatter does not really find anything either. Outer Heaven goes down. He was in the front lines, unfortunate. Great focus fire there. Dragons coming out from OwO Fox, who's already built them up way faster than Zombie Dylan. 3 picks in this team fight. Are we about to see a world record speed run on Eichenwald? Because this payload just continues to blaze through. Is anyone going to be able to touch? Rue able to touch, as is Zombie Dylan. Zombie Dylan does find the pick onto Lindhurst and onto Aussie Matt. That's huge, but the picks are still going in favor of Eternally Feeding. Only the tanks here. Ridge Hunt not going to survive for too much longer, and that is going to be it. Eternally Feeding with 3 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock here on Eichenwald. Their dominance is continuing to show.
Yeah, and it came off of the back of Foxy at the end of the second half of the map. Foxy just started turning up and hitting all his shots.
You can pet Naboo, open the door, I just need to be quiet.
So now we'll have to see how Pete's Planet respond here. They are struggling for answers to all these rush comps coming in from Eternally Feeding. I mean, they are just playing so fast right now. It is definitely, I mean, Eternally Feeding, you gotta give them credit. They are forcing their style on Pete's Planet Deep Dish, and they're forcing Deep Dish to make the adjustments, and so far they haven't been able to do that.
Yeah, they're in their face, and just Pizza, the Planet Pizza, they're just not able to, find a way to respond.
This is not a bad look from Pete's Planet Deep Dish. Gonna run with the double birds, knowing that Eternally Feeding has not really ran much of that hit scan, and yes, we already see on the defense they're not running many hit scan. I mean, their best hit scan right now is probably Baptiste, which is not entirely the one you want to counter double birds, but we'll see. Double shield setup here, coming out from Eternally Feeding. So the opposite of our rush comp. This is a slow-paced poke comp. So maybe some adaptations and different looks from Eternally Feeding as well, as they are going to allow Pete's Planet to make that initial rotation, but OwO Foxy, who needs a hit scan when you can hit your shots on the Pharah as Hanzo. Outer Heaven is back, but Zombie Dylan down now, and the res has already been expended on the side of Pete's Planet Deep Dish, and they're just stuck. They just can't advance, and now the double shield is moving up. So much spam coming in that Pete's Planet Deep Dish without their Echo is just going to need to back up.
Yeah, there's just too much poke damage for them to trying to come in, especially trying to use a Ryan. Like, there's a lot of space that Reinhardt needs to make to actually get up close to the Orisa, up to the Sigma. I don't know if this is gonna work with the Reinhardt.
It's definitely gonna be tough, especially since they don't really have a Lucio to run into this composition, as we do see Eternally Feeding. They're backing up, gonna try and take the positioning on point. There's the amplification matrix coming out from Lindverse. It's pointed towards the left side, so Pizza Planet are gonna obviously go to the right side and attempt to kite it. Rich Hunt was a little bit isolated, but able to get back with the team. Here comes Outer Heaven, able to find one with the barrage, but Oreo Foxy finds that kill onto him, but that's still multiple picks in favor of Pizza Planet Deep Dish. Lazy Turtle able to get 2 here, and it does look like they're finally going to be able to find the answer here and get a team fight victory on Eichenwald and get this point moving.
Yeah, they didn't use too many ults, and they were able to do it. So it looked like they were going to be seeing a soldier now, instead of the Torb. So they opted to get rid of the Torb ult.
Oh boy, and here we go. Outer Heaven gonna play the Bastion. Interesting choice here, gonna try and set up a bit of a pirate ship here. We'll see how it goes for Pizza Planet. Definitely a lot of shields for Eternally Feeding to work with, and the Dragons will displace the Bastion off of point. Immortality Field used early in the Gravitic Flux will have big value. Oreo Foxy getting 2 kills on the Hanzo. Great work here. Only the tanks available for Pizza Planet Deep Dish as they're going to try and retreat, but Eternally Feeding trying to find those stagger picks, and Loki the Legit is able to find one with the Helix Rockets onto Ridge Hunt, and Oreo Foxy takes out the Rhine for good measure.
He's hitting every shot. This is gonna be difficult, but they are coming in with a few ults. They switched their own Hanzo as well.
Nate initiating this team fight with the Supercharger, and Lindhurst already able to find Outer Heaven. Loki the Light is down though, and Rue could go for the res, and they will. So now they will have the Pizza Planet will have the slight advantage here. They have multiple ults still to work with. Ridge Hunt gonna use the Gravitic Flux. Oreo Fox already finds Outer Heaven, and Chubb using the Transcendence in response to that Gravitic Flux, but that buys Pizza Planet a lot of positioning, and they're gonna invest even more ultimates. Zombie Dylan duplicating the Orisa, trying to build up a Supercharger. Loki the Light from the high ground gets pulled. That should be an easy kill for Pizza Planet here. Loki just not really able to get the value out of the Tac Visor, and there we go, a team fight victory here for Pizza Planet Deep Dish, but they sure did have to use a lot of ultimates there.
Yeah. The Tac Visor brought out the Zombie Dylan's copy, which it wasn't really a great Tac Visor, but if it was able to do that, it was alright.
Dragons down the middle of point, trying to split them, and Zombie Dylan already down. Again, who needs a hit scan when your Hanzo can hit all of these shots? It is unbelievable. Ruru did pop the Valkyrie, trying to inspire the team to go forward, but Loki able to find that pick. Figment's down 2 gold, supports down for Pizza Planet. Ridge Hunt gonna get booped off. That will be it for this team fight, as Eternally Feeding are able to stabilize around the bridge. Also, it is worth noting that Eternally Feeding have already guaranteed themselves a superior time bank, so that just shows you how fast that their attack was.
Wow.
So now here we go.
Look at them going through the castle.
Yep, and now they're gonna try and take the high ground. They want these 2 long-range sniper hit scan characters, Zombie Dylan and Outer Heaven, to get as many sight lines as they can, but oh no, Outer Heaven going down to the sonar arrow. Tough to even know sometimes if they're even aiming for a head on those, but another tough break for Pizza Planet, as Oreo Foxy just cannot miss right now.
Yeah, they need a back out there.
Now here we go, both of these Hanzos have their dragons available, but man, I mean, this is like Oreo Foxy's like 3rd or 4th at this point in the map, and I think this is Outer Heaven's first. Granted, they've been on it way less, but I'm pretty sure Oreo Foxy has more than lapped Outer Heaven at this point. So now here we go, Ridge Hunt gonna initiate with the Chromatic Flux. It doesn't find a soul.
Catch anyone.
No one. Dragons falling down the middle. It's not going to find anything. In fact, Oreo Foxy finds the pick.
Someone's gonna have to get to the cart.
Yeah, this is not looking good. So many picks, so many ultimates, and that is going to be it. Eternally Feeding take, again, a commanding victory here on Eichenwald to take the 2-0 lead in the series.
Austin Man with the play of the game. Oreo Foxy honestly was just, I don't know if there was anything they could have done there. He was just hitting shots. You know, you can't really take away anything from that. Like, yeah,
just absolutely dominating on that Hanzo. I mean, really, when a Hanzo is hitting their shots, they are one of the hardest characters to counter, because not only do they have that one-shot potential, but with that leap that they get very frequently, like, they even have some mobility, they can climb walls, like, Hanzo is definitely one of those characters that if you are hitting your shots, it is almost impossible to counter. They even had the double shield look. Like, I don't know what else you bring out besides a Hanzo of your own and double shield to counter a Hanzo, and Pete's Planet Deep Dish haven't even been able to do that.
Yeah, it was very apparent. Like, when they took the bridge and they had double shield up, and it didn't matter. He just sprayed them down from the ground. They had high ground advantage, and he was able to just get heads. That was when he got the sonar kill.
Now, we'll say there are a couple members of Pizza Planet not here right now, most notably Lotta, their great support player, who is not here at the moment, unfortunately. And I'm just interested. I'm interested. I kind of want to see, you know, a DPS line that, you know, maybe consists of, I guess, the players who typically play DPS for Pizza Planet Deep Dish. We'll have to see if Sass and Thickmints perhaps will be together on DPS this map, and it will not. Zombie Dylan will remain on the DPS. Thickmints is going to come back, and Sass is going back to main tank. We're pretty much getting the their team comp that they had on Lijiang Tower. Yep, it is exactly the same, I believe. Yep.
Hopefully they're able to pull out some comps that are going to be a little different, because they don't want a repeat of Lijiang Tower. That was...
But now it's tough, because Eternally Feeding has shown both a rush composition and now a slow-paced double shield composition, so now you might have to make multiple adaptations on the same map. So Eternally Feeding really with a strong showing right now. I mean, you got to give them a lot of credit. They're playing these compositions really well, playing fast with the rush comps, playing smart around the shields in the double shield comp, finding the picks, spamming, making Pizza Planet Deep Dish uncomfortable. They're really making this hard for Deep Dish right now.
Yeah, all the while making it easy for them. Because I wish we looked at how many deaths the whole team had in total. Because I know it's not that many.
On Lijiang, for a couple of the players, I bet it couldn't have been more than one.
Oh, yeah.
No one was dying on Eternally Feeding, and I'd probably say the same thing on Eichenwald there. The only time that members of Eternally Feeding were dying were when Deep Dish was winning the team fights, which was not often. Eternally Feeding are winning these team fights incredibly one-sidedly. I mean, getting 6 picks to 1. I mean, these are not close team fights right now.
Yeah, it looks like Pizza Planet Deep Dish. That's gonna have to pull out something. Pull out something different, something new that they can throw at Eternally Feeding, because they need to find a way to slow them down.
Then go play Roblox.
And this is the map right here. This has to be the map.
Going.
Perhaps maybe Pizza Planet Deep Dish could start to run more of a chaos comp, perhaps, if they maybe want to run like Ball Diva and try and get it so that this Eternally Feeding team has to separate from each other, make Zarya not able to peel for the supports because they're having to chase after the ball or whatever. I feel like that's one of the only solution other than playing rush comps better than Eternally Feeding.
Yeah, because they've tried almost everything, and it looks like Eternally Feeding. They know they've played a lot of comps already, and they're just well varied, and it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for Pizza Planet. It's gonna be interesting what they're gonna pull out. I know they're definitely discussing what they're gonna be doing.
Yeah, it's now or never for this Pizza Planet Deep Dish. Already at match point, Eternally Feeding very hungry to bounce back after their tough loss last week, hoping to get back to above 500 here. This is another team, we talked about Pizza Planet Deep Dish, kind of, I think, had some middling expectations for the season, but after week 2, their first victory, people were like, oh, they actually do look pretty strong. But the opposite has kind of been the case for Eternally Feeding. Most of the people thought they were going to continue to be one of the better teams. They were our semi-finalists from last season. They were originally throwing for content. It is a very different roster from that team, but still the same coach and organization, and a lot of people had high expectations, and to see them struggle against Spellbound Tengus, barely get that win, and then lose to Blix Renegades, I think a lot of people are like, ooh, what's going on here? But they're definitely responding here tonight with a great showing.
Looks like Lexi
yep,
is subbing in for Loki.
Come back in, so we've seen all of the DPS pairs tonight, but it's still going to be Nate Nasty, and it's actually going to be Kappa coming in for Lindhurst, who I don't... Oh, whoops, that is Lindhurst. Same sports. So that must be, it's kind of interesting. They've only got 7 players here because Flippy doesn't count. He's their coach and captain, but that right now, they're keeping the same tank lineup, keeping the same supports, and just kind of swapping out the DPS depending on what they want to run. Like on that first map, they wanted to run the Junk, May, Sim, those rush comps, and then on that last map, they wanted more of that projectile spam that we saw from Oreo Foxy. So it'll be interesting to see what they'll play here on Sky Industries. I would imagine probably some more spam stuff. Luxie comes in to maybe play some Junkrat, and maybe Oreo comes in to play some more Hanzo.
Yeah, don't change something if it's working.
And it's one of those things where, in a league like this, obviously you want to have rosters that you want to make sure that people can show up. You don't want to only have 7 people on your roster, because in case you'll only have 1 day a week where all 7 of you are going to be able to make it. It's tough, but I will say at the same time, when you get these teams that maybe have smaller rosters or have committed to a core lineup, you will see them typically play a little better because they just get that constant synergy together. They know how to play. You're not messing up the feng shui within the match, and it's fine. Obviously this is still a casual league, and we all come here to play and stuff, but you know, for certain teams, you know, they also want to win, and if they feel like this is their best way to win by, you know, maybe slimming down their core members of their roster and, you know, trying to figure out the team compositions that work for them.
Yeah, because this is still, we're still trying to have fun here. So playing whatever they feel is right is great. So it actually looks like we're seeing a Zarya Winston. This is new. Oh.
Yeah, double bubble comp as Nate maybe overextending there, maybe getting a couple of shots to the head from Thickmints, and it's a great start here for Pete's Planet. Already up one member, they do have to be careful. Oreo Foxy on the Tracer now. Yeah, they eternally feeding, really committing to, you know, more of a dive-centered comp, but there's a nice anti onto Ostymat. He's going to have to retreat behind the wall. He has to be careful. Oreo Foxy trying to take out Strawberry, but to no avail. Lindhurst is also down, and here we go. Pete's Planet Deep Dish looking real good right now. Nate able to come back, but immediately melted once again. Pete's Planet Deep Dish are going to be able to capture point A really quickly here, so perhaps this might be the beginning of the turnaround.
Yeah, not much resistance there. Looks like they just took control of the map and slowly picked off people one by one.
Obviously did not help losing Nate there so quickly. He didn't get to set up any dive attempts whatsoever, and in this team comp you don't want to lose your Winston that quickly, as he's the one that kind of initiates and tries to find those out of position players. So here we go, Pete's Planet up on the high ground, now transferring to the low ground, trying to find that attack spot, and Oreo Foxy already going down to Thickmints. This is a good start once again for Pete's Planet Deep Dish, trying to set a nice time bank, put themselves back in the series. Ruru gonna give the nano boost to Extra Sass, and Nate goes down once again. Maybe not getting the peel from the team they need, or maybe just not communicating their aggression right now. Sass kind of 1v1ing Osty right now. Chubb able to keep him alive for now, and Sass is anti. He has to be careful. There's the shatter. It's monstrous. Is this the cleanup they need? Here comes the dragons coming out from Zombie Deal, and the picks are certainly going in favor of Pete's Planet Deep Dish. Oreo Foxy not going to be able to find any picks. There's the sleep onto Nate, who is primaling. Not going to get anything done with that. Lindhurst going to come back on the Brig. Not going to do a whole lot there. Chubb back on the Moira, trying to fade. Uses it, immediately dies. Luxy, Oreo Foxy on the point. Oreo Foxy is very close to the pulse bomb. Could that possibly turn anything around? It does take out Zombie Dylan. That's going to be huge for the defending team, as they're getting a lot of members back. It's about a 5v5 now. Oreo Foxy finding the pick onto Rue, and I think this is going to be... Oh, the stabilization for Eternally Feeding Strawberry, almost able to get that res, but Nate coming in with a nice boop, and that is unfortunate. A great Grav Pulse Spawn combo from Ostymat and Oreo Foxy to turn that around.
Yeah. Pizza Planet came in strong. That was actually a great start by them. It was unfortunate that they weren't able to stop the trickling of Eternally Feeding coming back in, but they got 2 ticks out of it. 94% actually to capture point.
Yep, so they should only need to win one fight, and that's a great start. Zombie Dylan finding the pick onto Oreo Foxy, now on the Hanzo, which they were dominating on the last map. Ruru coming in, nanoing Extra Sass. The Tired is taken down by Thickmints, and this looks like it might be a Chubb, really the only one here. Luxy in the backline, gonna get taken down by Strawberry. Pulling the Thanos final do this myself moment. Nate's gonna have to be careful for the Bob. Incredibly low. Oreo Foxy goes down to the Bob. Instead, there's the Shatter with the Dragons, and that should be the cleanup there. So here we go. Pizza Planet Deep Dish able to set a nice time bank here on Volskaya Industries, 2 minutes and 55 seconds. So now it's gonna be Eternally Feeding that's gonna need to kind of figure out what to do and make the adjustments they need.
Yeah, Pizza Planet looked very confident. It's just a whole different team right there from the last 2 maps we were watching.
Now, it was a different look from Eternally Feeding to start off the map, obviously running kind of that double bubble comp, but even at the end there, they did swap to that tried and true rush comp, and Pete's Planet were still able to get in. Obviously, it certainly helped that OwO didn't get a lot of time to play Hanzo there. Zombie Dylan found that nice shot to take him down, get that force out of the way, and that it just was pretty much over from there. So we'll have to see if perhaps OwO can get more stability on the DPS here. Flash on the sim for right now. We'll see if they want to go with the sim composition.
And it looks like for Pizza Planet we're getting a double shield. Ryan Sigma. And Junk with the spam, Soldier with the Mercy Pocket and the high ground. It's gonna be difficult, but we'll see.
Definitely a standard defense comp coming out here, and Luxie falls into the trap, and that's a brutal start for the Sombra. OwO gonna immediately swap to the Pharah here. We'll have to contend with Figments on the hit scan. Eternally Feeding.
Looks like he's making another switch. Oh, he's switching to Reaper.
Oh, yeah. So now kind of more fully committing to kind of a rush comp. This is actually very similar to the Neo Goats that you see in Overwatch League with the Moira Lucio, but Austin Matt already had a mech and 2 kills with the Fire Strike from Extra Sass, definitely having a better map than he had on Li Jiang Tower, and again, you know, now it's Eternally Feeding that's going to be needing to make the adjustments, and so far a minute off the clock already. Pizza Planet looking pretty good.
Yeah, and Pizza Planet, probably one more fight and they're going to be coming up with some ults. Another switch, they're going to switch off the Sombra into Junkrat. And off the Winston to Reinhardt.
Oh, they're swapping almost the entire comp. They're going back to the rush, except this time Ostimat is going to stick to the Diva. Probably want to get that high ground control and the defense matrix to stop that spam from Zombie Dylan. He's almost at the tire, and Luxie able to take him down. That's huge. Strawberry could get that res, but Ostimat, Luxie, and Chubb already swarming the death spot. Figment's also in a lot of trouble. Look at that, those dives and quick speed comps here from Chubb and Ostimat to find the picks. OwO getting 2 from the high ground. And that's going to be Eternally Feeding, able to capture point A here.
They came in with no ult and able to win a clean fight. There was no ult used on both sides.
Yeah,
so once they switched their comp, they were able to get it.
Dylan was the one that was closest to ult there, and he went down first. Perhaps the tire could have really helped, and it could have at least forced out the immortality field from Lyndhurst. So now here we go. Ooh, look at this. Luxie going incredibly aggressive already in the back line and takes down Lulu. That's huge. There's an amplification matrix coming out from Lyndhurst, but multiple ults on the side of Pizza Planet coming down. And Chubb is the one that's going to fall to Zombie Dylan's tire. Already a tick gained here for Eternally Feeding and OwO with multiple kills, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. That's actually 2 ticks. This is looking really good, and they take down Ruru, and that is going to be the point capture for Eternally Feeding. It looked like maybe they were taking too many picks, but they were able to focus down the remaining members of He's playing a deep dish, and they actually get the superior time bank.
Wow, that was an amazing second hand push. It looks like Pizza Planet deep dish. They just sort of folded once they started getting picks. I feel like Pizza Planet deep dish. They just need to just settle down once they lose people and just try to regroup. Because I feel like once they lose someone, it sort of all falls apart. That's how it feels for me when all these fights.
Yeah, I do not believe they have won many fights in which they've lost a member right off the bat. In fact, I'd say that I don't think they've won a single fight where they didn't get the first pick so far here in this match. But to piggyback off your point, I also think that they maybe could have used their ultimates a little bit more proactively. They kind of allowed Eternally Feeding to kind of get in position, like they used Linhurt's Amp Matrix right off the bat. Luxy was able to get in position, you know, just maybe just not ready for the rush coming out from Eternally Feeding.
So it looks like Eternally Feeding, instead of last time on defense, they had the Winston Diva. It looks like they're gonna do the Ryan Zarya. They're gonna stick to their thing.
As for Pizza Planet Deep Dish, they're gonna stay on the double shield comps. Ridge Hunt's been playing mostly that Sigma tonight, so why swap now? So both of these teams meeting on the defender's right side, trying to get point presence here. Ossimat using the bubbles, already incredibly high charged. The Mortality Field expended from Linhurst, but Thickman's able to thread the needle and take down Chubb at Linhurst. That's an incredibly fast Amplification Matrix. A nice shatter coming out from Sass, but will it be enough? He does go down to the damage boost from the Amplification Matrix. Ossimat, incredibly high charge. They're going to give the nano boost to Ridge Hunt, and I think that will be Pizza Planet able to capture point A for a second time tonight. They're going to have just about a minute to try and get as much progress as they can on point B.
And they got some good ults to actually make point B interesting. Coming in with Ridge Hunt's Flux, and then Bob is most likely going to come online. Zombie Dylan's most likely also going to have Dragon. So it's going to be interesting offense.
It's going to be tough, though. Someone might have to step up and take down this tire from Luxy, as there's no Immortality Field on the side of Pizza Planet Deep Dish. He's up here on the defender's left high ground. Bob going to find a pick already in both of the DPS ults from Eternally Feeding. They both find a pick apiece. Nate can use the Shatter as well, takes down Ridge Hunt, and definitely a tough position here for Pizza Planet. They're gonna try and back up, but Eternally Feeding trying to continue to find the stagger kills, and Strawberry goes down. And this is gonna be tough. Thickman's gonna swap to the Tracer to try and touch. So now here we go, Thickman's.
This is gonna be very tough.
Goes down
wow.
Before they can touch. Unfortunate. Great Helix rocket from Oreo Foxy to make sure that that touch didn't happen. It would have been a very tricky team fight for Pizza Planet Deep Dish anyway, but way to make sure that that was never even a doubt. So
yeah, he got melted after like 2 steps.
Must have, I assume, probably used all of the blinks there. Couldn't quite get to point. Unfortunate. And yeah, of course they got melted. Couldn't use the recall. I don't even know if the recall would have been good anyway, because it probably would have put them too far away from point. So now, Eternally Feeding with the win condition here. All they need to do is capture point A and then take 1 tick on point B, and they will have the series in their hands. Technically, since we do best of 4, they'll technically have won the series if they just capture point A, as a draw confirms the victory as well. So Pizza Planet's only hope is getting the 3-minute and 15-second full hold here on point A.
You think they can do it?
We'll see. They're gonna commit to that same comp that they ran on the last defense that I think was going solid for them at first. We'll have to see. Hopefully, you know, Dylan doesn't get caught out again, but Nate gonna be on the wrecking ball this time around. Looks like
Let's see what they're running.
Yeah, okay, it does look like Nate is gonna swap to the Reinhardt. It's kind of interesting. I'm wondering what maybe he thought they were gonna run there. If maybe they were wondering if they were gonna run a Pharah or something that the Wrecking Ball could have been good against.
A Bastion. We've seen them do it before.
That is true. Otter Heaven not in though. Ostymac caught in a trap, but they're not able to capitalize, but they do take down Lyndhurst and Luxie, both of the DPS with picks there. Nate gonna find the pin onto Sass, but he actually does find two.
And the
One of
bomb.
those will get res, as we do see him finally going down. Oreo Foxy gonna get the flank and take down Thickmints. That's monstrous here for Eternally Feeding, as they have the clear spawn advantage. And yeah, Pizza Planet already kind of on the back foot. They're not able to take as an aggressive a position as they were hoping to. So now here we go. The Rhine is back, but Thickmints on the Ash still on their way. There's the Shatter coming out from Nate. It only finds Ridge Hunt, and Extra Sass already going down before they can build up their Shatter. This is looking all too good for Eternally Feeding. Zombie Dylan able to find one, but not able to build up to that tire. That is going to be point A being captured once again by Eternally Feeding. All they need now in the final 2 minutes of this map is to capture one tick on point B, and they will win the map.
Pizza Planet are coming up on some ult, so hopefully I can help them with this defend and try to get this draw. Looks like Oreo is already ready for a flank.
Yeah, maybe gonna take one of the platforms. Yeah, look at this, taking one of the floating platforms, already up on the high ground. Here we go, and gets the Helix Rocket kill onto Thickmints. He has just been excellent tonight. Lyndhurst taking out their counterpart in Ruru. Strawberry able to get the res onto Thickmints. That's huge. Nate getting pinned, already incredibly low. This is gonna be tough, but Extra Sass falls into the trap, and that's gonna be it, folks. Eternally Feeding. They get the map win here on Volskaya Industries and win the series 3-0. We will play the fourth map though for map differential.
Play of the game.
Pizza Planet, this was definitely the best game Pizza Planet has done. For today, since tonight. But it looks like just Internally Feeding was just a little too much. They knew exactly what they were doing and exactly what they wanted. It was just a little too much.
So we'll have to see if it is possible that anyone else will come in for this final map 5. We will be awaiting these teams to see what they want to do. So we're gonna head to Junkertown here, final map of the evening, and this is definitely a map that perhaps we're gonna see Pizza Planet Deep Dish maybe running some Bastion on, you know. You can see some pirate ship on this map. It certainly is a viable strategy. Wouldn't be surprised nothing else has worked tonight. Well, to be fair, the pirate ship also did not work on Eichenwald, but that was kind of a weird situation where they swapped to it mid-map, and Oreo had the dragons ready to disrupt them, so, you know, maybe if they're able to just start off the map with it, they'll have a better time.
Yeah, I'm also going to be expecting some long-range heroes here. We're probably going to see the Hanzo duel again. I want to see why, because this is very entertaining.
Yeah, definitely. I certainly think that this outcome of this match has surprised me so far. I'll be fully honest. In my pick'ems, I did pick Peach Planet Deep Dish to continue their winning streak, but overall right now it really feels like Tier 2 is kind of really up in the air. Like, I think there's a lot of teams that could make improvements and, you know, turn it around. I think there's some teams that have surprised so far. Obviously, Blix Renegades getting the victory over Eternally Feeding last week. I think that was a pretty big upset for a lot of people. They're looking pretty solid to start off the year. Taters, they had a bye last week, but they got their victory against Cosmic Dawn in the first week. You know, there's a lot of teams that can really be fighting for to be considered the best, and I believe now the only unbeaten team is actually C11, who've beaten Blix Renegades and Cosmic Dawn so far.
Hmm. Yeah, I think this match is going to definitely be turning some heads. Eternally Feeding, showing that they really do believe that they're number one. And you might be right, because Outer Heaven is actually coming in, so we might actually see that bashing.
Well, I believe they are gonna start on the defense here, so we'll have to wait until round 2. As for Eternally Feeding, they're actually gonna have Luxie come in to play some tank. Aussie gonna play all 4 maps. We're gonna see Legits come back in with Oreo Foxy. That was the duo that we saw on Eichenwald, and then Chubb, and now we're gonna see Nate head to support now. So maybe go into some off rolls for this final map, see what you know, possibly if there's some more combinations, you know, people on lower SRs that you still feel like can provide value to the team. You know, we'll have to see.
I wouldn't be surprised what Eternally Feeding pulls out, you know. It seemed like they got an answer for anything. So who do you think has been the most outstanding player so far in these maps?
Well, we'll definitely save a lot of that talk for the end of the game when we talk about MVPs, but I feel like unless someone on Peach Planet Deep Dish has a monster performance here in Junkertown, I feel like all roles are going to go to Eternally Feeding. We've definitely had a standout on all fronts there. Obviously, I feel like Austie, Matt, Oreo Foxy, and then both the supports have been playing well tonight. But for my money, I'm actually leaning towards Lindhurst maybe getting support MVP. But we'll kind of talk about that as we get towards the end of the game, where we'll get the captain's nominations. Overall, I just think that this tank line for Eternally Feeding has been playing excellent tonight. Obviously, Nate's gonna step off main tank for right now, but he has been awesome tonight. And Austie Matt, just constant high charge. F that Zarya, building up grabs like they're nothing, providing good bubbles, just doing everything you want in a Zarya player. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe they were out damaging one of their DPS on some of those maps, because they're just beaming people down. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they had silver damage on Unleashed Young Tower. I might have to go check. That might be close to a Fleta deadlift. Oh, Steve is getting so many picks.
It looks like they're pulling out the ball.
Interesting. They use the sim to teleport up to the shack here. I don't know if I've ever seen that, but it does get both of the supports up with the McCree on that high ground. Loki able to find the first pick onto Ruru, but Luxie maybe going in a little too deep. Strawberry is going to be able to get that res. That's not going to be available for Eternally Feeding, so now Extra Sass going to try and go a little bit further forward, but he's already getting melted. That Discord Orb is just brutal for them, and they're continuing to back up, trying to take these sight lines, regen some of that shield, but oh, Steve Matz just finding the picks, gets that one onto Thickman's Outer Heaven on this Widow, trying to find the headshots, trying to find anything, but it's looking like it's to no avail, as it is just continuous red in the kill feed. Strawberry gonna stall point for as long as they can. Just some wishful thinking there, as Rich Hunt's pretty much the only one around here out of mech, able to take down Loki, and Rich Hunt is actually not dead yet. Interesting. They do capture point Eternally Feeding, but Rich Hunt will get back in mech as Thickmints is able to get that kill onto Luxie.
Looks like Thickmints actually switched to May. Looks like to stop the ball and stop with the Tracer.
Loki the legit has the pulse bomb ready, and they're going for it. Not able to find anything with that one. Outer Heaven now on the McCree, maybe trying to get some CC for that Wrecking Ball, slept by Ruru. Luxie does go down, and there's the nano boost onto Ridge Hunt here on the Diva. Trying to get in the back line, maybe isolate one of these members. Gonna have to use the self-destruct to remech, but they won't even get back in mech as Oreo Foxy splitting the team up, getting 2 picks with the Dragon's Outer Heaven. And Ruru, another team fight looking pretty good here for Eternally Feeding, as this honestly might be point B as well.
Yeah, let's see if they decide to touch. It looks like Diva might be. They're thinking about it.
They're going for it, but Ridge Hunt is already out of mech. But there's the Shatter. It's not too bad, but Chubb with the perfectly timed Transcendence. The grab is just going to be too much for Pete's Planet Deep Dish to overcome, and once again, just red lighting up the kill feed, as that will be another fast point take here for Eternally Feeding. 5 minutes to get this payload to the end of Junkertown.
Some good things for Pizza Planet is that they used 2 ults there. Eternally Feeding, big ults, the grab and the trans. So this might be where they can finally pull a stop. Oh, great E from the bomb.
Yep, that's really nice. Thickmints getting close to that Blizzard. That might be the ultimate they need to stabilize here, but they're gonna have to be careful. Oreo Foxy up on the propeller, trying to find those headshots, as well as Loki trying to get into the back line. They do force out the recall, but it's already Nate and Oreo Foxy finding the picks, and Thickmints not able to use the Blizzard. And man, that might have been worst case scenario for Pete's Planet here, as they don't even need to use like any ults to win the team fight. They use Eternally Feeding, they use the pulse bomb, but it got eaten. Oh no, Outer Heaven falls to the Dragons. Ridge Hunt already out of mech. Even if we see the Blizzard coming out, is there going to be any follow-up? The answer appears to be no, except onto Osti Matt. That's not a bad pick here for Pizza Planet, but Strawberry goes down, channeling the rally. Outer Heaven coming on from an off angle, does get 2 at the high noon. That is huge for this team, as it does look like we're going to be able to see the stabilization, as Loki does actually get 2 with the pulse bomb and a lot of damage onto Ridge Hunt. So maybe not over now. It's looking like it's going to be over, as Loki was the last one there, and Extra Sassy is able to get that pick.
Looks like Peach Flame found their footing. That's great. See what they can do now. Luxie's already trying for the high ground.
And the nice thing is we're going to see a comp change from Eternally Feeding, so they've reset their ult economy, so perhaps this is a chance for Peace Planet to swing that back in their favor. Loki did try and teleport up to the high ground where Strawberry and Outer Heaven are. Ridge Hunt already getting incredibly low, able to throw in the Diva Bomb, but it's not going to find anything. Outer Heaven, though, gets the headshot onto Chubb, and the Gravitic Flux is also committed. That will be able to help Pizza Planet win this team fight as well. So already starting to whittle down that time bank. 2.5 minutes remaining for Eternally Feeding, which is still quite a bit, but definitely a lot less than the 5 minutes that they had at the beginning of this push.
Barrier in place.
Yo, Oreo Foxy initiating this team fight with the Dragons. It does not really do a whole lot, gets them off of the payload, but doesn't really split them up a whole lot. Luxie able to find the pick onto Extra Sass. There's the Blizzard. It's pretty solid, but the bubbles coming out from Aussie Matt actually able to cleanse the freeze. Outer Heaven from the backlines trying to find a high noon kill, does not find any and will likely go down to Luxie. Or no, actually is able to get the flash fan to take him down, but it's mostly red in the kill feed right now. Chubb gonna use the Coalescence right now. Strawberry coming back with the rally, trying to find any sort of picks that they can, but it's gonna be tough for just a Brig. 2 Coalescence kills for Chubb as Thickmints and Outer Heaven are back. Outer Heaven back on the Tracer. There's the stall coming out from Thickmints, trying to use the icicles as much as they can, but Chubb finding so many picks in this final team fight. It's looking real good for Eternally Feeding. Ridge Hunt stalling on the Diva. Here comes Strawberry, but that, I think, is going to be it. Only Outer Heaven and Ridge Hunt still here. Nate's going to use the Sound Barrier for good measure, as well as Loki using the Death Blossom. So that will be 1 minute and 2 seconds in the time bank for Eternally Feeding as they capture all 3 points here on Chunkertown.
Pizza Planet definitely made up for it. It dropped down the time to 1 minute and 2 seconds. We're just gonna see how they do with the offense. That was a great push from Eternally Feeding, though.
Yeah, certainly it could have been a little bit more disastrous. Good job from Pizza Planet to shave a lot of time off that time bank, but considering, you know, how much of a struggle it's been for Pizza Planet tonight, it's going to be tough for them to not only capture all 3 points, but to match the time bank as well.
So looks like they're gonna pull up the tour. We saw this a little bit in Eichenwald in point A.
Right now, looks like Pizza Planet are maybe given a bit of a double hit scan look with the Hog. Interesting. I was kind of hoping maybe they'd try some Bastion Cheese comps, but looks like it's still definitely a unique comp with the Hog Sigma. The Hog kind of almost acting as the main tank in this composition. Look at this. Eternally Feeding
playing at the door.
Yeah, they're going for the spawn camp. Thickman's already going to swap off, and there it is, the Bastion coming out from Outer Heaven. Do they expect this? The shield, and that's a nice anti onto Ostimat, but will it be enough? The shield is still strong for Luxie. Pretty much everyone on the side of Eternally Feeding is looking pretty good, except for Oreo Foxy, who is now dead. Outer Heaven trying to reposition, get a better look at these members of Eternally Feeding, trying to hide from the Bastion. Chubb is able to get the pick, but I think it is going to be too little too late for the spawn hold, as we're going to see Pizza Planet able to win this first team fight, res onto Outer Heaven, and they're going to get this pirate ship on the move. They just need to take down Loki, and they do.
Alright, look like they're gonna be switching to May and Hanzo to counter this Bastion.
Outer Heaven getting very close to the tank configuration, but look at this, they're already right in his grill, and Chubb using the amplification matrix. Outer Heaven certainly gonna have a difficulty trying to attack now, but he does find an immediate pick with the tank configuration. Luxie is anti, but will get cleansed by the bubble. There's the immortality field to save the tanks, but the tank configuration is just too good from Outer Heaven. Just need to take down Nate as well as Loki the Light, who's still in the building. So, okay, here we go. The Bastion comp working out pretty well for Pizza Planet Deep Dish.
Damage increase.
So they're gonna try to touch. Immor already used, and there it is.
Yeah, Ruru gonna handle the Bastion, the scariest sight in all of Overwatch. The only thing that maybe would make it worse is if Strawberry were on BAP or Zen to provide even more damage boost, or maybe even have an Orisa with the supercharger. That would be just terrifying, as we do see Pizza Planet. They're doing a pretty good job here on their attack, actually, and Eternally Feeding trying to figure out how to stop this pirate ship. I'm gonna see
Going for the flank.
rotation. That's a good job dropping from the high ground, and Ridge Hunt is already down. Nate gonna commit to the sound barrier as well. And with Outer Heaven going down, the Grav committed. We'll have to see if Pizza Planet want to continue running this pirate ship, and they will not.
Wow, Luxie's already halfway to his next shatter. After just using it.
So Outer Heaven on the Pharah here. Figment's gonna initiate this team fight by using infra sights, but there's the dragons coming through a tight corridor. Ridge Hunt isn't gonna be able to survive that. Red Extra Sass already went down anyway, so this team fight was gonna be a tough one for Pizza Planet, as Eternally Feeding so far doing a good job at the stabilization, but Oreo Foxy does go down. Amplification Matrix coming out from Chubb here. Aussie Matt does have to be careful not to get caught out. The members of Pizza Planet Deep Dish are certainly having trouble. Extra Sass not in a great position, and there's the Gravitic Flux coming out onto Chubb and Aussie Matt. Chubb able to use the Immortality Field to save them, but Ridge Hunt getting the Nano Boost, going for the Shatter, doesn't find anything. Very tough geometry there on the stairs. I think it looked like it connected, but something with the geometry obviously did not help. Figments did go down, but that will get res by Strawberry, and it does look like Pizza Planet are winning this team fight, and we'll see if they're going to be able to get the stagger kills. Looking pretty good so far. Are they going to be able to snowball this to a point B capture?
Loki is going to have Tyre for this fight if they do decide to recontest here. So this might be interesting to see what's going to happen here.
Yep, they're going for it. Oreo Foxy already incredibly low. Will get the healing, but Thickmints gets the finisher on that one. Yep, Loki does have the tire. Do they want to use it? They are going to use it way in the back line, but gets immediately taken down. Unfortunately, Ruru falls into the total mayhem. Outer Heaven using the barrage. There comes the sound barrier coming out from Nate, as it does look like Eternally Feeding are turning around this team fight. And it does look like Pizza Planet are going to back up.
Loki coming back with the trace there.
Thickmitts initiating another fight with the Infrasight here, trying to find those pickoffs, maybe on one of the supports, or perhaps their hit scan counterpart in Oreo Foxy. No, it's actually going to be Aussie Matt, but Chubb taking down the Pharah. That's huge. Thickmitts, though, multiple picks in this team fight. That's exactly what Pizza Planet need, and that's a nice anti from Ruru. Chubb using the regenerative burst while anti, that's not going to move the needle there, as that is going to be point B being captured by Pizza Planet.
So Pizza Planet's gonna have a chance to actually roll with both the tank ult and Nano.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Now we'll have to see who they want to nano here. Perhaps we'll see if Ridge Hunt can hit a shatter and then follow up with the... Here we go. Luxie. Neither of the shatters really finding a whole lot, and there's the Gravitic Bugs coming out from Sass. But it does look like Eternally Feeding are able to get the picks as of right now. Figments is down, gonna have to back up, and only a minute remaining for Pizza Planet here as Outerhaven able to get an exit kill and get away. So now here we go, 30 seconds. Pizza Planet lose one more team fight. It's probably the 4-0 for Eternally Feeding. OwO Foxy initiating this team fight with a tactical visor from the high ground. Not really finding much right now.
And immediately woken.
Yep, Ridge Hunt with the nano right here trying to build up the rest of that shatter, but is not able to. As of right now, Luxie actually built up the shatter before him, but it will get blocked. Ridge Hunt with a nice block there. And Luxie is down. Ruru gets rezzed, but this is looking really tough for Pizza Planet as the rest of Eternally Feeding are trying to go aggressive, take out these last remaining people. And I think that's going to be it, folks. Is anyone else going to be able to touch? Outerhaven going to try and get there, as is Thickmint's not going to happen. Eternally Feeding get the convincing 4-0 victory here as they move to 2-1. Pizza Planet Deep Dish going to move to 1-1 on the season now.
That was a very convincing game by Eternally Feeding.
So I don't think that map really moved the needle for me in giving Deep Dish any MVPs for tonight. I definitely thought that Ruru actually played a really good match there towards a good map there on Junkertown, building a lot of nano boosts really quickly, getting some nice antis and some good sleep darts. But I do think that Chubb and Lyndhurst would beat her as well in this MVP race, and I feel like it's pretty obvious the tank and DPS MVPs. It's gotta be Ostymat for tank and OwO Foxy for DPS. They were just excellent tonight.
Yeah, incredible tonight. And I'll probably give the healing one to Chubb. Actually, you was healer, right? You was healing for most of that game, correct?
Yes, healed all 4 maps, and it was Lyndhurst as well, who I actually think it's close. I think both of the supports for Eternally Feeding tonight played incredibly well, but I definitely felt like, and maybe this is just me, you know, being more of a flex support player, but it definitely felt like Lyndhurst, you know, building up those amplification matrix really turned the tide of some of those fights, really doing a good job on the Baptiste, playing a little bit of Moira too. Actually, I think they played the Lucio and Chubb was playing the Moira as well, so definitely different roles for them, but both of them honestly played great, and we'll see.
The whole team did. It's very difficult choices. OwO Foxy, yeah, I believe is unanimous.
We are actually going to get to the nod from Pizza Planet Deep Dish to Nate on the main tank, and obviously Nate played incredibly well also, but man, just from the performance on the first 2 maps alone, I don't want to not give it to Ostymat. They were playing so incredibly well on those first 2 maps. I mean, just constant, like, 80+ charge, beaming down players, hitting the alt clicks, building gravs. Like, I definitely think Aussie Matt was really enabling Luxie tonight. Not that Luxie didn't play well, but it really was that just off-tank difference tonight that I think really helped Eternally Feeding kind of turn the tide. And I am down for interviews if you are also down. I'd love to interview people, so...
Okay. I've never done it before, so I will try them.
I can ask most of the questions. I'm good at this. As for Eternally Feeding, they did nominate Thick Mints and Zombie Dylan, and Thick Mints definitely performed well on the last couple of maps for sure. But I don't think you can deny Oreo Foxy. Like, just based on the Eichenwald performance alone, like that was an excellent map. Just absolutely dominating and even continuing to play well on the last two maps that they played as well. I think it's pretty impossible to not give it to Oreo Foxy tonight. So Oreo Foxy, we're pretty in agreement there on DPS. Throne, are you in agreements on Oreo Foxy?
Yes. Oh, you said... Sorry.
And then for tank MVP, are we gonna go with Austie Matt, or do you have an argument for Luxie, or maybe even someone on Deep Dish?
I actually feel Nate.
Yeah, Nate. Sorry, Nate. Yeah.
I believe his Reinhardt play was phenomenal. He had a few slip-ups with the Winston in Volskaya, but all in all, he played in all 4 maps, and I felt his presence as a Reinhardt. So that I will argue about with you. But I do understand Austin Matt. He wasn't phenomenal. Almost an unsung hero.
You know, it's tough, especially in a 50-50 in a 50-50 case like this. I do kind of like to maybe go and look and see who's gotten MVPs already, and we actually have seen Nate get MVPs before. So if we want to give it to him again, if you are not gonna budge from your hill, I will certainly take that. But
oh no, I can budge.
I'm definitely feeling Austin Matt tonight. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, you know.
Oh no, you're good.
Play, but just
I'll give it to Austin Matt because he was also phenomenal. The whole tank line was phenomenal tonight. I can give it to Austin.
And then support. That's also I think that's a tough one to think about too. Chubb has one MVP as well. But both of them just played so well tonight. Especially Chubb on the Moira there. Yeah, maybe Chubb really does deserve it tonight, but maybe we can give an honorable mention to God yeah, the other support that was playing for most.
Yeah, I agree. But if we were gonna do that for I think all of them deserve honorable mentions because all of them played phenomenal. But yes, I agree with the Chubb, and he can definitely Lyndhurst, yes, he can definitely get honorable mentions.
Yeah. So okay, so we've got our MVPs decided there. Literally the 3 that are still on the Eternally Feeding team right now. So that kind of works out visually, but yeah, we'll go ahead.
Was that on purpose?
I have no idea. I don't think we can just freely remove people from these lobbies. So obviously they might be in a group together and just haven't left the lobby yet. So okay, it looks like we are gonna for sure get interviews from Eternally Feeding. I don't know if we've gotten a confirmation from Pete's Planet, and there we go. Flippy and Austin Matt, congratulations on your dominant victory tonight. It was a great performance.
Hello.
Hello.
I think Austin here.
Are they in the? I don't think they're in the voice channel yet. They must still be in a team a team chat or
Yeah.
a group chat.
There we go. Mic check. 1, 2.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. What's
How's
up,
it going,
guys?
Osti?
Pretty good, man.
Yep, great performance again. Congratulations on the 4-0 victory, getting that bounce back victory after losing to Blix Renegades last week. And I just want to announce right now that if you look in the lobby right now, the 3 players that are still on the Eternally Feeding team are the MVPs for tonight.
Oh,
Osti,
really?
Matt, Oreo Foxy,
nice.
and Chubb. Yep.
Okay. I thought I did think after like map 2 I called Austin would get it. I thought Austin was playing out of his mind. I thought he would
Yeah,
get it.
I mean, well, everyone was playing so well tonight, and yeah, my first question is, what was kind of the strategy going in tonight? Obviously, coming off that loss, and coming against Pete's Planet, who won their first game. What were kind of the strategies, and what were you thinking about, trying to counter on Pete's Planet?
Really, we had a couple key things that we missed last weekend. We didn't really trust our comps early on, and we wanted to show up and show that we can play different things. I think we have an excellent tank line, and we have DPS that can hold their own against pretty much any team in the league. So really, we just wanted to come in and kind of show that we could handle business, right? We needed the bounce back. We messed up. We made a lot of mistakes we shouldn't have last week, so we really just focused on playing clean more than what comp we were going to run or things like that.
Anything to add, Flippy?
Coming into this game, Austin wasn't going to start on off tank. It was going to be Nine's best boy, but she kind of just disappeared. So Austin was next man up, and he played great. So that was good.
Definitely stepped up the role.
Yeah, for sure. Great performance tonight, especially on those first 2 maps. You were just beaming down everyone. My next question is going to be, we saw a couple of very common looks from you guys, especially that rush comp with the Moira Lucio, and we saw some double shield as well. Like, what do you think you're feeling most comfortable on as of right now, and maybe what are some other comps that you're hoping to add to the arsenal?
Definitely the kind of the old school Ryan Zarya comp. Really, we can exchange most any DPS with that one to adjust. We have, like I said, we have a really solid tank line. Really, we want to work a little bit more on double bubble. I believe on Volskaya. I kind of missed a bubble and got Nate just absolutely nuked. I wasn't able to get my bubble out fast enough. So that was a little bit of a setback, but I think we bounced back pretty nice after that. So that's definitely something we need to work on. I didn't really get to play on Diva this week. I've been putting in a little bit of work on her. So we definitely want to kind of spice things up there. That way we can help when like Widow was popping off there on Junkertown a little bit. I think adding in maybe a little bit more dive would serve us really well.
Flippy, anything to add?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think coming into this season, I thought our Rhine comps would be one of the best, if not the best. I feel very confident in our Rhine stuff. But so we're just trying to get better with Monkey Diva, Monkey Zarya. Trying to play more ball, which you played on Junkertown. I thought they played great. So, pretty much everything other than Ryan Zarya I want us to get better at.
Yeah, and for my next question, I guess I kind of want to get a little bit of a, what's the word, like some insight on the comps. Like, who would you say is kind of the in-game leader and the in-game shot caller for this team, and who, maybe someone who doesn't get as much credit because they're not maybe lighting up the kill feed or whatever, but you feel like are doing a really good job at maybe some of the micro and macro stuff in terms of shot calling and stuff like that on the team?
Ooh, honestly, as far as in-game goes, everybody kind of shares that role a little bit. We have a few people that are very vocal. Nate is always great on calls and reminding us in kind of those transition fights, or we have a few picks or stuff, he's always reminding us, hey, keep making calls, keep making calls. So Nate is really valuable on that. But this team is really good at kind of playing on the fly. It's kind of like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until you get hit in the face, right? So plans last until the action starts. And then this team does very well in the chaos, switching targets, making calls, and it can come from anywhere. And everybody's really good at adjusting and adapting to that.
I think too that probably like Lexi's really new to the team, as most of our players are. But Lexi's really new to the team. I think Lexi has really helped with calls, and Chubb also. Chubb was our off-tank last season, and I think he's one of like the first or one of the few master supports that have played in Tier 2 because no one wants to put that many SR points on a support player. But Chubb is like invaluable. His in-game leadership is invaluable, so I'll eat the 10 every time if I get to play Chubb every map. I think he's played every map of the season actually.
So for me, I only have one more question for you, and it is going to be looking ahead to week 4. You guys get to battle Thanks For Coming, the new TFC, which is kind of funny. What are you looking forward to for that game?
Personally, I know I wasn't here last season, but I kind of take this one a little personal. I want to, I'm new here. I want to prove that I belong, and I want to prove that this team belongs. I know that a lot of those guys kind of bet on the team. It sounds like the team came up a little bit short in some grand finals, but that's going to happen. I don't appreciate that they left. And I think that next week we're going to make a play.
That's
not true. That was more of just because that they just
their
named
new
themselves.
name is TFC. Yeah, their new name
Thanks
is
for coming.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that was intentional, but like that's just like
Got you.
it's just kind of funny.
The people that left are on a different team. We already played them. That was first week. The one that you couldn't make it because you yeah.
Oh,
You were
yeah,
there.
inside the guard. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
My apologies. Got a little mixed up there.
You're
As
good,
far
you're
as
good.
anybody else,
Technically, you still are the original TFC. Like
that is true.
I'm looking forward to playing against. Oh, what are you gonna say, Austin?
I was just going to say, any week that we come out, we want to just prove that we belong. I think that this team is solid enough that once we get things ironed out a little bit and stop making, those little mistakes in between fights and things like that, I think this team can compete with any team in the league. So just really establishing ourselves as, honestly, the team to beat. That's what we want to be.
I'm looking forward to going against Filthy. That's my buddy. I love Filthy. So I want to go against Filthy Reindeer. Hopefully he's there.
yeah, one of your teammates in Tier 3.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
But that's all of the questions I have for you guys. Throne, do you have any questions, like from the observations from the game that you wanted to get some insight from?
No, I think you hit every question I had.
Okay then. Well, Austin, Flippy, do you have any closing words?
Thanks for casting. Thanks for casting.
Thank you very much. It's always
thank you.
it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, guys, definitely appreciate you having me here for the post match, and as
Great
always,
to-
you do a great job casting in game, and we look forward to having more victory talks with you after the game. So
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
an
that
eye
would
out
be.
for us.
Also, shout out
be
to
great,
Lexi.
yeah.
Shout out to Lexi, rare Lexi. He wanted to come to the interview, and I chose Austin.
Yeah, Lexi.
I love you, Lexi. I love you, Lexi.
Perhaps next time.
Yeah,
He is next time. I promise him next time.
yep,
if
we had
you
a couple
keep-
guys sacrifice their spot, so
If you keep performing like that, I think there will be a lot of victory interviews in your future. But thank you for joining. Once again, congratulations for your victory. Congratulations to OwO, Austin, and Chubb for the MVPs, and hope you guys have a good night.
yeah,
You too.
appreciate it.
Have a nice night, guys.
You as well, man.
Did we ever hear back from Pizza Planet. Do we know if they're gonna come in for the interview?
Hmm.
Haven't gotten a response yet. Definitely sometimes after a loss, not in the mood to go for an interview.
Understandable.
Yeah. Some people do,
Especially-
you know.
Especially
come
the
up in
way
middle,
they
but-
lost.
Yeah. A lot of times, like, especially on the 4-0s, it's kind of like, I mean, even like maybe questions that I do ask, like, what do you think went wrong? I mean, that's kind of a loaded question. There's a lot that probably went wrong tonight, but no, I still do like to get insights from
feedback.
the losing teams. You know, see what they feel like they could have done better. You know, things that they're looking forward to improving on the next game. But I think if maybe we don't hear, we don't get a response within the next minute, we'll probably say no for a Pizza Planet Deep Dish interview. Though I would have liked to talk to Outer Heaven again. Always a fun character to chat with.
Yeah, I could tell from his choices, Bastion.
Well, I think we're gonna shut this down. Okay, well, again, we're not seeing another response, so yeah, I think we're just gonna call it here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking around for the EF interview. I've been Mr. Game and Kirby, joined by Throne here.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching.
And then, of course, Red Hood Kitty on the cast was wonderful, as always. So we will see you guys in the next game, which for Tier 2... Let me find this out before we officially call it. Let's see. We have only one other one scheduled right now, and the next Tier 2 game is going to be Saturday. That's Thanks for Coming versus Spellbound Tengus. Lots of Tier 3 action going on the next couple of days. A double header tomorrow night. I Need Healing versus Boomers R Us, and Prestigious Noobs versus Team Rocket. A couple games. We got a game on Friday as well. Pizza Planet versus Nova. A lot of stuff coming up in the next few days. Make sure to not miss it. Hopefully we'll see you there. And we will see you guys next time.